Hi students, it's time for training 5A. So this week we've got two trainings. This is 5A and then the next one will be 5B. And what we're going to do this week is learn about distances and how to measure distances and other statistics in QGIS. So what we've got here in training 5A, you're going to download this file here, this zip file, into your downloads folder, and when you do that, it is going to be available. Of course, you're going to want to move that file into your GIS folder wherever you save GIS information, and then we will be able to work with it. Now, you don't actually have to unzip this file. So if you don't unzip it, that is just fine. You can just move the folder. I did and made a new folder. It's up to you whether or not you do that. So I'm just going to click on this and open it up, and I'm going to look for this file that is NE10M Railroads North America.shp, and I'm going to click it and drag it into my work area. Okay, so I can see that mostly North America, all the railways that are available, and if you left click on it and open up your attribute table, you can see the sovereign air SOV_A3 is just this place, the nation that it's in. We call that sovereignty. And if you scroll down, you're going to start to see other countries besides the United States in there. Okay, so we're going to close that, and just what step are we on here? So we've done that. We did step 1. We did step 2. We're on the middle of step 2 really. So what we're going to do is make sure we have, actually we can just click on processing, and then we're going to click on toolbox. Okay. So I'm going to go up here, click on processing, toolbox, and you can see we've got our toolbox handy, and what we're going to do there is we are going to, let's go back to our search. We're going to type in add geom, okay, to it. So let's do that. I'm going to go to add geom, and you can see we've got this at the top. We're going to double click that, and we've got our layer right in here. If we had more than one layer, we'd have to search for the layer that we want, but since we only have one, we're good to go. We're going to change the drop-down menu to ellipsoid, and so what this is going to do is it's going to add something to our attribute table. We cannot calculate lengths with our current CRM that is part of this particular shapefile, and so we want distances on our calculated on our attribute table, and so we've changed that to ellipsoid so that we can do that. We click run, it runs it, and now let's close that out, and you can see up here now we have another layer, and it's added geom info, and I'm going to right click on that and look at my attribute table, and you can see in my attribute table we've added this last column called length, and these are the lengths of the railroad in meters that have been made available to us. So let's look at our instructions. So we did our attribute table, we did number 4, and now we looked at the attribute table number 5, and now we're going to filter this out. Okay, again, SOV_A3 represents the country that it's in. We call that sovereignty, and we are going to use that as a filter here in just a moment. Okay, so let's go on to step 7. All right, so I'm going to close this out. Again, notice before I do that that if I scroll down here, we've got Mexico, Cuba, Canada, and all the other North American countries listed there. I'm going to close that out. I'm going to click on, just to make sure the added geom info is outlined in blue. I'm going to right click and I'm going to drop down to filter. Okay. All right. And so what we're going to do now is we want to filter for just those railways that are in the United States. And so we're going to double click. And then what we're going to do is hit equal and then type in, we're just going to go over here. I'm going to make sure I'm clicked on sovereign again. I'm going to click A and then double click USA. Okay. And so it should look something like this. Okay. If you did followed my instructions. So what we're going to do is click OK. And you can see right away that it has selected, changed the color to a really ugly green in my case. I'm going to get rid of that. Anyway, and you can see that just USA railways have been selected. And so we can unclick the North America one and just see our railways in North America. The last thing we want to do for this little training is we want our attribute table to show things not in meters but in kilometers, because that's a lot of length, and so it doesn't make sense to do it in meters. And so what we're going to do is, again, we're going to open up our attribute table. So we've opened up our attribute table and we can see that we've got our sovereignty right there. Okay. Sorry. And actually, I don't want to. And we can see that we're all USA there, no other countries. That's great. Exactly what we want. And so I'm going to close that back up now. And now what I want to do is click on this button here. Okay. This little indicator right there stands for the filtered. So it means that this is filtered. So make sure that that is there. And then you're going to click on this weird looking E. This weird looking E means sum. In this case, it's going to show statistical summary. So you're going to click on that. And then down here, I'm just going to move that up. So if you click on those little, I don't know how many dots are there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And you click on those dots, you can move this up a little bit. And I just click and hold and move. Okay. So I'm going to make sure that this top row is the added geo info. So I'm going to click on that, switch up that. So now I've got added geo info in there. And then I'm going to go to this empty space and this little drop down arrow. And I'm going to click on that and go down to length. Okay. All right. And so you can see that we've got summary statistics all the way up and down. Our count for the mean is 131,000. Our median is 102,000. And our sum is actually really large, really large. So it's an unmanageable number. We don't want that. We want it in all this information in kilometers. So what are we going to do? We're going to go over here to this little E right here. As in our other trainings, this E stands for our expression builder. Okay. And you can see that because length was in this drop-down menu, length showed up here. If it didn't, you're going to want to type in length in parentheses, and then you're going to hit divide the backspace or divide key, and then we're just going to divide it by 1,000. And what this is going to do is, since meters are a base 10 function, just by dividing it by 1,000, we're going to turn this into kilometers. Okay, and so we're going to go ahead and click OK. So yours should look like this. Click OK. And you can see that it automatically changed the numbers, and we can see that our sum is right around 100,000 kilometers of railway throughout the United States. You can see what our mean is per railway is 131 kilometers, median and all of the other statistics that are available there. And guess what? That is the majority of what we need to do. Now we need to turn something in. And so I'm going to make this really easy on this one. With the creation of our map, what I want you to do is really simple. So I'm going to go to Project, Print New Layout. Oh, well, before we do that, let's make sure we're centered nicely, as nice as we can. Ah, too big. So right there, okay. I guess I could do this, right? There we go. It fits a little bit better that way. All right. Now I'm going to get Project, Print New Layout, click OK. And then I'm going to add item, add map, and then I'm going to click and drag across to add my map. And then the only thing I want you to add to this map is a add a scale bar. Okay, so you're going to go to add item, go to scale bar, and then add your scale bar. Okay, and you can see that it adds 1,000 kilometers onto the scale bar. Then all you got to do is go to layout, export as PDF, enter your name. I've already done this once, so I'll just copy over it. Enter your name, training 5A, and then click save. Okay. All right, so that's going to pull up, save a PDF for you. That file is what you're going to upload into Canvas for this lab. Thank you very much. Have a good one. Go on to training 5B.